It all began with a desire to stay at Belmont House in Lyme Regis. When I stayed at this Landmark Trust property at Lyme Regis, little did I know what was in store for me. But more about that later. Let me show you some of the house first. I'm here for a couple of days and I'm keeping a sketchbook while I'm here. Hi, I'm Diane, by the way, and when I go away somewhere, I like to create a sketchbook of my time there. It's almost like a visual diary. The wonderful thing about this property is that there is this amazing balcony. And you can sit outside and look at the garden that has this Victorian observatory. And I thought I'd give it a go and add it as the first subject of my sketchbook. If you stay here, you have access to this observatory and you can watch the stars and the planets through a telescope. I decided to continue my drawing downstairs in the garden. But let me tell you a bit about this room first. One of the former owners of this home is John Fowles, the writer of The French Lieutenant's Woman. I believe that he wrote the novel in this room. And if you look out the window, you can see the Cobb in the distance. It features in his novel and in the film where Meryl Streep appears as a hooded figure in a storm. But let's go out and explore the garden a bit more. And this is where I was in for a bit of a surprise.
Who is at the door? What do you want? No, you stay out there.
After stopping the invasion of chickens, I went outside to continue my sketching. The garden extends out from behind the property and down the hill. There's also some hidden features like a statue, and you can spend a pleasant morning or afternoon sitting in the garden. And what better way than to add more drawings and paintings to your sketchbook? I added colour to the sketch I'd already done on the balcony using these water brushes that I'd filled with acrylic ink. This was an experiment that I was trying to do as a change to using watercolours. I've made a previous video about using acrylic inks and India inks in water brushes. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested. What I did find was that the inks enabled me to create some very vibrant images, which were a lot less subtle than watercolours. I'm going to continue experimenting with inks and I'll be making further videos on the subject. I was intending to actually paint the property, but in the end there were another couple of subjects that insisted that I drew them instead.
Are you going to be in my picture as well? I'll put you at the bottom. Okay? I'll put you at the bottom of the picture so you don't get jealous.
The chickens did seem to have a tendency of sneaking up on me.
That's a nice pose. I think you want to be in my picture, don't you? Eh? Yes, I know. Well, I've got you down there and you over there. Okay, I'll put you in the picture then. All right?
I've added in the two hens. I don't know if you can see that. I feel as if they need names.
I'll see you later. We'll see you later. Okay? Bye.
If you've ever stayed at a Landmark Trust property, you'll recognise this mug that I'm drinking tea from. I couldn't resist adding it on to the sketch as a memory of this very restful morning I spent with the chickens and with my sketchbook. The chickens, like me, are visitors, and I don't think they belong to the house, but they will visit occasionally. When I finished my sketch, I thought it was time to take a closer look at the front of the property. And there's someone you may or may not have heard of, and that's Mrs. Code. She was another resident at the property, and Mrs. Code became known for creating a business that produced a type of artificial stone. In my next video, I invite you to spend some time with me in Lyme Regis itself. There's lots of stories to share about the town as well.